Good afternoon to all of you and welcome to our weekly business meeting of the South Carolina Public Service Commission. Today is Tuesday, August 22nd, 2024, and it's approximately 2 p.m. Before we begin, would you please join me in a moment of silent reflection? Thank you. First, we'll do a roll call of commissioners. Present in the hearing room are Commissioners Carol Lee Williams, Commissioner Florence Belcher, Vice Chair Justin Williams, Commissioner Mike Caston, and I'm Delton Powers. Joining us virtually is Commissioner Hedden Thomas. Seated beside me is Joanne Wester Hill, General Counsel of the Public Service Commission. Mr. Powers, if you would please proceed.
Good afternoon, Chair Powers, Vice Chair Williams, and Commissioners. The first order of business is to set the next regularly scheduled business meeting. Staff recommends that the next Commission business meeting be set for Thursday, August 29th at 2024 at 2 p.m.
Next meeting will be August 29th at 2 o'clock.
Today, we have 19 items on the utilities agenda and 14 items on the transportation agenda. Items 1 and 2 both involve interruption of service reports and can be taken together. Item number 1 appears in docket number 2017-15C, which concerns the confidential interruption of service reports filed with the Federal Communications Commission by Frontier Communications of the Carolinas, LLC.
Having heard the items presented by Mr. Powers.
Item number 2 is also in docket number 2017-15C, which is the confidential interruption of service reports filed with the Federal Communications Commission by PBT Telecom Incorporated and PBT Communications Incorporated.
Sorry to interrupt. Having heard the first two items as presented by Mr. Powers, do I hear a motion?
Chair Powers, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Williams, the floor is yours.
Thank you. I move that the Commission grant confidential treatment of and accept for filing the interruption of service reports filed by the carriers identified by Mr. Powers in items numbers 1 through 2. A directive order will be issued for each application in the respective dockets.
Thank you. Having heard the motion, is there any further discussion? Then we will proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Belcher.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 3 is in docket number 2009-144C. This is a request from TracFone Wireless Incorporated, DBA SafeLink Wireless Incorporated, for confidential treatment of its South Carolina customer report for the second quarter of 2024.
Having heard item 3, is there a motion?
Chair Powers, I'd like to make a motion.
Thank you, Commissioner Caston.
I move that the Commission grant the request of TracFone Wireless Incorporated, doing business as SafeLink Wireless Incorporated, SafeLink, for confidential treatment of the company's South Carolina customer report for the second quarter of 2024.
Thank you, Commissioner Caston. Having heard the motion by Commissioner Caston, is there any further discussion? If not, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Belcher.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
I vote aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 4 is in dockets number 2013-36C and 2004-43C. This is a letter from ANPI Business LLC notifying the Commission of its planned discontinuance of switchless long-distance and toll-free service in South Carolina.
Having heard item 4 is presented by Mr. Powers, is there a motion?
Mr. Chair.
Vice Chair Williams, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, fellow commissioners, I move that the Commission grant the request of ANPI Business LLC's request to discontinue certain telecommunication services, the provision of switchless switchless long distance and toll-free services provided to business customers in South Carolina, and approve the company's notice to affected customers. The servers used to support these services are at their end of life and no longer supported by their manufacturer. The company is not surrendering its certificate to the business in the state and shall continue to offer intrastate telecommunication services to other customers. I would note that the impact of this discontinuance of service will impact one customer in South Carolina that was originally provided service by the company's predecessor in interest, Zone Telecom Incorporated. The company sent notice of discontinuance to the affected customer on June 6, 2024. A copy of the notice was filed with the company's request. So moved.
Thank you, Vice Chair Williams. Having heard the motion, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Vice Chair Williams.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Belser.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
And I vote aye, the motion carries.
Item number 5 appears in docket number 2024-157C. This item involves final disposition of this docket.
Having heard item number 5, do I hear a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Belser.
thank you. I move the commission grant the application of IQ Fiber SC for a certificate of public convenience and necessity to provide competing local exchange and inter-exchange telecommunications services in the state of South Carolina and for alternative and flexible regulation. I further move the commission grant the requested waiver of South Carolina Code Annotated Regulations 103-607, 103-610, 103-611, and 103-631. So move.
Thank you, Commissioner Belser. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote. Roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Belser.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams.
I vote aye.
And I vote aye, the motion carries.
Item number 6 is in docket number 2016-212C. This is a request for expedited review of the authorization for the transfer of all assets owned by E-Networks LLC to E-Networks Holdings Incorporated, and a waiver of public notice.
Having heard item 6, do I hear a motion?
Chair Powers, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Williams, you have the floor.
Thank you. I move that the commission grant the request for expedited review for the transfer of all assets owned by E-Networks LLC to E-Networks Holdings Incorporated, as well as the request to waive public notice. I further move that the commission grant the request for authority to transfer pole attachment agreements, goodwill, business opportunities, contracts, assets, liabilities, certificate of public convenience and necessity, and going concerns related to any and all opportunities that may arise in the state of South Carolina from E-Networks LLC to its parent company, E-Networks Holdings Incorporated. Further, I note that E-Networks LLC has no customers nor equipment and is not currently conducting business in South Carolina. I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Belser.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams.
Aye.
And I vote aye, the motion carries.
Item number 7 appears in docket number 2024-230G. This is a request from Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated for waiver of notice and hearing.
Having heard item number 7, do I hear a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Belser, you have the floor.
I move the commission grant the request of Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated to waive notice and hearing. So move.
Thank you, Commissioner Belser. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Belser.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Carolyn Williams,
Aye.
and I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item 8 involves acceptance for filing of the 47th Amendment to the contract between Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated and the United States Department of Defense for Fort Jackson and a request for confidential treatment of the agreement.
As to utility item number 8, do I hear a motion?
Mr. Chair.
Vice Chair Williams,
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, fellow members of the commission, I move that the commission accept for filing Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated's 47th Amendment to the United States Department of Defense contract at Fort Jackson and grant Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated's request for confidential treatment of the agreement. So moved, Mr. Chair.
thank you, Vice Chair Williams. Having heard the motion, is there any further discussion? We'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Vice Chair Williams.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Carolyn Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Belser,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
and I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 9 is in docket number 2024-203E. This is a request from King Street East 230 LLC for confidential treatment of certain portions of the direct testimony of Kristen Rizar and Matthew Mears.
Having heard item number 9 is presented, do I hear a motion?
Chair Powers.
Commissioner Williams, you have the floor.
Thank you. I move that the commission grant the request of King Street East 230 LLC for confidential treatment of certain portions of the direct testimonies of Kristen Razier and Matthew Maris.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Is there any further discussion? If not, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Carolyn Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Belser,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams,
Aye.
and I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 10 has been deleted from today's agenda. Item number 11 appears in docket number 2024-3E. This is a request from Duke Energy Carolinas LLC for confidential treatment of Exhibit 3 in Stephen Capp's testimony.
Okay, having heard item number 11, is there a motion?
Chair Powers, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Caston, you have the floor.
I move that the commission grant the request of Duke Energy Carolinas LLC for confidential treatment of Exhibit Number 3 with the pre-filed direct testimony and exhibits of witness Stephen Capps.
Having heard the motion, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Carolyn Williams, Commissioner Belser,
Aye.
and I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 12 is in docket number 2024-203E. This is a motion from King Street East 230 LLC to amend the caption of this docket by deletion of the words, quote, and battery.
Having heard item 12, is there a motion?
Mr. Chair.
Vice Chair Williams,
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, fellow commissioners, I move that the commission grant the motion of King Street East 230 LLC to amend the caption of this docket by deleting the words, quote, and battery, end quote. So moved.
thank you, Commissioner Vice Chair Williams. Having heard the motion, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Vice Chair Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Carolyn Williams,
I vote aye.
Commissioner Belson,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
and I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 13 appears in docket number 2024-9E. This item involves the Office of Regulatory Staff's review of Dominion Energy South Carolina's confidential 2024 Integrated Resource Plan update.
Having heard item 11, do I hear a motion?
Chair Powers, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Carolyn Williams, you have the floor.
Thank you. Pursuant to South Carolina Code annotated section 58-37-40 D1, quote, an electric utility shall submit annual updates to its integrated resource plan to the commission, end quotes. Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated filed its 2024 Integrated Resource Plan update on March 28, 2024, pursuant to South Carolina Code Annotated Section 58-37-40D2, quote, the Office of Regulatory shall review each electric utility's annual update and submit a report to the Commission providing a recommendation concerning the reasonableness of the annual update, quote, ends. On July 26, 2024, the Office of Regulatory Staff filed a redacted copy of ORS's review of Dominion Energy South Carolina's 2024 IR Integrated Resource Plan Annual Update, also known as the report. ORS advises that the report contains information designated as confidential by Dominion Energy South Carolina, and a confidential, unredacted copy of the report has been submitted under seal to the Commission. I move that the Commission grant ORS's request for confidential treatment of its review of Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated's 2024 Integrated Resource Plan update.
Thank you very much. Having heard the motion by Commissioner Williams, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Carolee Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Belser,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams,
Aye.
and I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 14 is in docket numbers 2022-151WS, 2022-161W, 2022-166W, and 2022-167W. This is a request from CSWR South Carolina Utility Operating Company, LLC, for confidential treatment of certain portions of its customer report for the second quarter of 2024.
As to item 14, do I hear a motion?
Chair Powers, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Caston,
I move that the Commission grant the request of CSWR South Carolina Utility Operating Company, LLC, for confidential treatment of certain portions of the customer report for the second quarter 2024.
thank you, Commissioner Caston. Having heard the motion, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Belster,
Aye.
and I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 15 is in docket number ND 2024-32A. Staff presents for Commission consideration draft water and wastewater rate case application templates.
As to item number 15, do I hear a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Belser.
thank you. Earlier this year, amended and updated regulations became effective on May 24th, 2024, and this included an amendment to Regulation 103-823, which addresses minimum filing requirements for rate case application. Commission staff has prepared drafts of proposed templates which water and wastewater utilities may choose to use when filing a rate case. These templates are in the draft phase, and at a recent advisory committee meeting, members were advised of the templates and that there would be an opportunity to comment on the drafts. I move the Commission direct the clerk to send a copy of the water and wastewater draft rate case application templates posted in non-docket matter 2024-32-A to all water and wastewater utilities within the jurisdiction of the Commission, along with a request for comments to be filed with the Commission. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Belser. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Belser,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams,
I vote aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams,
Aye.
and I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 16 has been deleted from today's agenda. Item number 17 is in docket number 2024-151E. This is a request from Duke Energy Progress LLC for like facility determination under South Carolina Code Annotated Section 5833 58-33-110-1 for the Robinson Plant Rockingham Transmission 230 kV line rebuild.
Having heard item 17 as presented by Mr. Powers, is there a motion?
Chair Powers, I'd like to make a motion.
Mr. Carolee Williams, you have the floor.
Thank you. On May 6, 2024, Duke Energy Progress requested the Commission issue an order granting the like facility request whereby the company proposes to rebuild and replace a portion of the existing Robinson plant, the Rockingham 230 kilovolt line and associated structures with like facilities. Under South Carolina Code Annotated 58-33-110-1, the replacement of an existing facility with a like facility as determined by the Commission shall not constitute construction of a major utility facility. The existing Robinson plant, Rockingham 230 kV line, extends from the company's Robinson Southeast plant northwest of Hartsville, South Carolina, to Rockingham 230 kV transmission station southeast of Rockingham, North Carolina, for a total distance of approximately 49.5 miles. The like facility request proposes to upgrade and rebuild the 11.6 mile section in South Carolina of the Robinson plant Rockingham 230 kV line and associated structures within the existing Duke Energy Progress right-of-way in Marlborough and Chesterfield counties. Per Duke Energy Progress's supplemental filing on August 12, 2024, the project will include temporary replacement lines totaling approximately 1,400 feet and will require temporary construction easements covering approximately 2.25 acres. The Office of Regulatory Staff has reviewed this matter, including Duke Energy Progress's supplemental filing on August the 12th, and has indicated it has no objection contingent upon the company receiving all required permit approvals. ORS bases its no objection on the company's responses to discovery, which verify the company's determinations and information contained in its like facility petition, and to obtain additional information. Specifically, ORS included questions related to how the company arrived at its proposed alternative, how the company determined the facilities were being replaced are a like facility, and what other alternatives were reviewed, a breakdown of cost estimates, voltage support data, and information on the land and right-of-way acquisition. In a letter filed with the Commission on August 21, 2024, ORS indicated additional discovery was issued pertaining to the company's supplemental filing. Contingent upon receiving and obtaining all permit approvals, I move that the Commission approve Duke Energy Progress's petition for a like facility designation under South Carolina Code Annotated Section 58-33-110-1, so that the utility may proceed with the replacement of a portion of its existing Robinson plant, Rockingham 230 kV line with like facilities as described in the petition. Additionally, I move that the company file updates every 3 months with the Commission and ORS on the project as it progresses. Upon completion of the project, I move that the company notify the Commission and ORS in writing of the project's completion within 10 days.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Having heard the motion, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, then we will proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Carolee Williams.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Belson.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams.
I vote aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 18 is in docket number 2024-109E. This item involves final disposition of this docket.
Having heard item number 18 as presented by Mr. Powers, is there a motion?
Chair Powers, I have a motion.
Commissioner Williams, you have the floor.
Thank you. You'll be happy to know it's much shorter than the previous one. I move that the Commission grant the application of Duke Energy Progress, LLC, for a Certificate of Environmental Compatibility and Public Convenience and Necessity to construct and operate a 76-megawatt alternating current solar photovoltaic electric generator and associated facilities at a single site located in both Chesterfield and Darlington counties, South Carolina, adjacent to Duke Energy Progress's existing Robinson nuclear plant and the Darlington combustion turbine plant, which is referred to as Robinson Solar Center. I further move that the Commission require Duke Energy Progress to notify the Commission and ORS of the commercial operation of the Robinson Solar Center within 10 days of such operation. Finally, I move that the Commission require Duke Energy Progress to notify the Commission and ORS regarding any changes to the Robinson Solar Center or to the planned commercial operation dates. I so move. And at the appropriate time, I have a comment.
You have the floor.
Thank you, Chair Powers and fellow commissioners. I support this motion because Duke Energy Progress, in my opinion, has met their burden of proof for the Robinson Solar facility in requesting its certificate of environmental compatibility and public convenience and necessity per the Utility Siting and Environmental Protection Act. Duke Energy Progress's proposal meets an established need for new energy as evidenced in its approved IRP, Integrated Resource Plan. Additionally, it is proposed to be sited on surplus property currently owned by Duke Energy Progress, clearly supporting the concept of system economy. In the hearing, we learned of the many ways Robinson Solar is being designed to minimize its impact environmentally, as well as ways that it will take advantage of an existing switching station and transmission that is already accessible to the site. The proposal reflects minimal environmental impact, in my opinion. Importantly, the Office of Regulatory Staff testified that the facility serves the interest of system, economy, and reliability, has minimal impact on the environment, and serves public convenience and necessity. What is Duke Energy Progress's burden of proof? I had to ask that question and learn more about that. Under the Administrative Procedures Act, the standard of proof in a contested proceeding is the preponderance of evidence. Fellow lawyers on the Commission tell me that means more likely than not. Do I wish that I had more information to make this decision? Yes. But honestly, that is true for every hearing that I participate in because these are complex matters. We are being asked to approve this certificate based on information in a previously approved IRP and CPRE process. What I find in this regard is a statute with enumerated findings and determinations that have been met by the preponderance of the evidence. Further, I note that the application contains information consistent with the information of a similar application. Fairness and consistency in upholding the law are important factors in my decision making. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Any further comment?
Chair Powell.
Commissioner Casson, you have the floor.
Thank you. Now, with the greatest respect for Commissioner Carolee Williams, I'm unable to support that motion. Based on the evidence presented, I do not agree that the utility has provided sufficient evidence to satisfy the requirements of the Siting Act. Act 62 added language to the Siting Act in Title 58, Chapter 33, Section 110(8)A, requiring a demonstration that the facility to be built has been compared to other generation options in terms of cost, reliability, and any other regulatory implications deemed legally or reasonably necessary for consideration by the Commission. The company suggested that its Commission-approved integrated resource plan made such comparisons. But IRPs are high-level and subject to change based on market or other conditions. Even if the Commission accepts and approves an IRP, a utility proposing to build a major utility facility as defined under the Siting Act must still appear before the Commission for determination that the facility meets the requirements of the Siting Act. This is recognized in Title 58, Chapter 37, Section 40, C4, which states in part, the submission, review, and acceptance of an integrated resource plan by the Commission or the inclusion of any specific resource or experience in an accepted integrated resource plan shall not be determinative of the reasonableness or prudence of the acquisition or construction of any resource. Moreover, Title 58, Chapter 33, Section 160 of the Citing Act provides that the Commission may only approve an application and grant a certificate if it finds and determines that certain statutory criteria have been met. One of the criteria is that the facilities will serve the interest of system economy and reliability. During the hearing, DEP's witnesses were unable to answer general questions about other generation options and how they might compare to the proposed facility. Additionally, the witnesses were unable to provide any specific alternatives to the proposed facility that may have been considered. They did not have any figures reflecting any specific evaluation of the proposed facility relative to other generation options in terms of cost and reliability. And they were unable to answer if more dispatchable units would be required due to any variability issues. Based on my review of the evidence presented, I do not believe the testimony provided sufficient information to determine whether the facilities will serve the interest of system economy and reliability. As such, I cannot find and determine that the facility as proposed meets the requirements of the Citing Act, and I will not be supporting the motion.
Thank you, Commissioner Caston. Is there any further discussion?
Mr. Chair,
Vice Chair Williams.
I would like to take this time to confer honorary law degrees from the University of the Public Service Commission on Commissioner Caston and Commissioner Williams for their thorough review of this case. The Cali Award has to go to Commissioner Williams, though, because she focused on the burden of proof. In all seriousness, though, Mr. Chair, fellow commissioners, I appreciate Commissioner Williams' motion. I appreciate Commissioner Caston's position on the case. Commissioner Williams, I'm happy to support your motion because what is key to me is the burden of proof, and we say it's more likely than not. Sometimes we use the football analogy. I love football analogies. You don't have to get far, just past the 50 plus, whatever the smallest unit of measurement you want to use. If you get that far, then you win. What I will say to the company's case is that they provided ample information and support for the application, and it was essentially confirmed or supported by the Office of Regulatory Staff. That's not to necessarily say, to Commissioner Caston's point, that the way that they did it was the only way to get there. There could have been a different demonstration, but I think what's key, for me at least, is that the statute does not require a specific demonstration one way or the other. And so with the evidence that they offered to the commission being supported by the Office of Regulatory Staff, it's hard to, in my opinion, it's hard to take the position that they didn't meet their burden based on the evidence that's presented, and that includes the evidence and testimony by the Office of Regulatory Staff. So again, I appreciate my non-lawyer commissioners digging deep into this case and presenting their positions to the public. I think that's important. I know we're going to have an order coming out, but I think it's important to be able to clearly articulate our positions, and I appreciate the effort and the work that both of you all put into deciding this matter. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Any other discussion? Commissioner Caston and Commissioner Williams, certainly I would agree with the remarks of the Vice Chair as far as the work put in and the real challenge of dealing with the law when you're not a lawyer. It's hard enough when you are a lawyer. Vice Chair, there's one problem with something you brought up. I do not think Commissioner Caston will accept a law degree from the University of South Carolina. And Clemson does not have a law school, so I think we're going to just have to leave him as he is. I would add, though, that I've been on the fence about this, not just in the last few days, but even today. And my concern as a fellow commissioner is that any commissioner feels like they do not have sufficient information to make what they feel is a decision. And this case is one where I know Commissioner Castens felt like the voice in the wilderness. I know his belief is strong, and I know he has put in the work and certainly has come up with his rationale in a very, very good way. Having said that, and having further thought, I believe I will support the motion reluctantly because I really feel that we do need information in order to make decisions. If there's nothing further, then we will proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Caston.
Chair Powers. Chair Powers. This is
I'm
Commissioner
sorry.
Thomas.
Commissioner Thomas, I'm sorry. You have the floor.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate all of the work that everyone has put into this, and there is a lot to think about. And I've considered, I think, from every angle myself, and I just do not believe that the company provided enough evidence for us to approve this facility. And so I will be voting no. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. Any further comments? We'll begin with the roll call vote, beginning with the Commissioner Caston.
No.
I mean, Commissioner Carey Williams.
Either way works, but yes, aye.
Commissioner Belser.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston.
No.
Commissioner Thomas.
No.
Vice Chair Williams.
I vote aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 19 is in docket number 2022-238E. This is a motion in limine and a motion to strike from Carolina's Clean Energy Business Association and a request to reschedule the hearing date.
Having heard item 19, do I hear a motion?
Chair Powers.
Commissioner Thomas, you have the floor.
Thank you. I move that the commission grant the motion in limine and motion to strike filed by Carolina's Clean Energy Business Association pursuant to the requirements of SC Code Annotated Regulations 103-845 and Rules 402, 403, 602, and 802 of the South Carolina Rules of Evidence. The specific portions of Dominion Witness Best pre-file rebuttal testimony are at the following page and line numbers. Page 2, lines 17 through page 3, line 2. Page 4, line 7 through 20. Page 5, lines 11 through 15. Page 15, lines 10 through 14. And page 15, lines 18 through 20, along with the incorporated footnotes. A full order providing the basis for the decision will follow. Further, I move that the commission instruct the clerk's office that the rescheduled matter for hearing. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. Having heard the motion by Commissioner Thomas, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed with the roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Carey Williams.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Belser.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, that completes the utilities agenda before the commission. Moving on to the motor carriers agenda, in Part A, we have 9 applications for new Class C and Class E certificates. These items can be taken together. In item A1, Item A1 is in docket number 2024-233T, which is the application of LNW Service Transport LLC for Class C non-emergency certificate. Item-
Chair Powers, I want to make sure I understood. Was that 223T? Is that what you said?
I said 233T. Is it?
That's what I show. I just
I
want
show
Two-
220.
223. I
Okay.
apologize. That's 223. Let me start over. Item A1 is in docket number 2024-223T, which is the application of LNW Service Transport LLC for a Class C non-emergency certificate. Item A2 appears in docket number 2024-224T. This is the application of 19th Hole Taxi LLC for a Class C taxi certificate. Item A3 is in docket number 2024-225T, which is the application of MW Transportation LLC for a Class C non-emergency certificate. Item A4 is in docket number 2024-226T, which is the application of First Student Incorporated for a Class C charter bus certificate. Item A5 is in docket number 2024-227T, which is the application of Palmetto Oaks Adult Day Health Center LLC for a Class C non-emergency certificate. Item A6 is in docket number 2024-228T, which is the application of Electric City Movers LLC for a Class E household goods certificate. Item A7 is in docket number 2024-231T, which is the application of Inspiring Transportation LLC for a Class C non-emergency certificate. Item A8 is in docket number 2024-232T, which is the application of Island Time Entertainment LLC, DBA Low Country Limo Bus for a Class C charter bus certificate. And item A9 is in docket number 2024-233T, which is the application of Prosperity Realty Relocations Company, DBA College Hunks Hauling Junk and Moving for a Class E household goods certificate.
Thank you. Having heard items A1 through A9 as presented, do I hear a motion?
Chair Powers, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Williams, you have the floor.
Thank you. I move that the commission approve the applications for Class C and Class E certificates in item numbers A1 through A9 as identified by Mr. Powers. A directive order will be issued for each application in the respective dockets.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Having heard the motion, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Belser.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams.
Aye.
And I vote aye, the motion carries.
In Part B of the transportation agenda, we have two requests for extensions of time. Item B1 is in docket number 2024-129T, which is the request from Pepper Hill SNF Operations LLC for a 3-month extension of time to comply with Commission rules and regulations.
Having heard item B1, is there a motion?
Chair Powers,
Commissioner Caston.
I move that the commission grant the request of Pepper Hill SNF Operations LLC for a 3-month extension of time until October 31st, 2024 to comply with commission rules and regulations.
Thank you, Commissioner Caston. Having heard the motion, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Belser.
Aye.
And I vote aye, the motion carries.
Item B2 is in docket number 2023-239T, which is the request from Bell's Home Care Professionals LLC for a 9-month extension of time to comply with Commission rules and regulations.
Thank you. Having heard B2, is there a motion?
Chair Powers, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Caston, you have the floor.
I move the commission deny the request of Bell's Home Care Professionals LLC for a 9-month extension of time to comply with commission rules and regulations. Pursuant to paragraph 5 of Exhibit A to order number 2023-543, granting the authority to provide motor carrier services issued August 10th, 2023, failure to complete the certification process by complying with the filing requirements within 90 days or requesting additional time to comply with the requirements of that order renders the order null and void. Bell's Home Care Professionals, LLC, received an extension of time in order number 2023-855, which provided the motor carrier until August 9th, 2024, to comply with Commission rules and regulations. As the motor carrier did not complete the certification process by August 9th, 2024, order number 2023-543 is null and void. While the request for additional time cannot be granted, Bell's Home Care Professionals, LLC is not precluded from filing a new application with the Commission when the application is ready to comply with Commission rules and regulations. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Caston. It's my understanding, Commissioner Thomas, that you are recused on this particular case.
Yes, sir, I agree. Thank you.
We will then proceed with a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Belcher.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
In Part C of the Transportation Agenda, we have 3 requests to amend certificates. Item C1 and C2 may be taken together. Item C1 is in docket number 2011-218T. This is a request from Sawgrass Limousine LLC to amend Class C Charter Bus Certificate number 0303 to read Low Country Valet LLC. And item C2 is in docket number 2016-107T. This is also a request from Sawgrass Limousine LLC to amend Class C Charter Certificate number 9176 to read Low Country Valet LLC.
Having heard items C1 and C2, do I hear a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Belcher.
thank you. I move the Commission grant the request to amend the name on the certificates of the motor carriers in items C1 and C2 as identified by Mr. Powers. A directive order will be issued in the respective dockets.
Thank you, Commissioner Belcher. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Belcher.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Carol Williams.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item C3 appears in docket number 2023-236T, which is a request from Aiken Transport Express LLC to amend passenger restrictions on Class C Charter Certificate to read 15 passengers.
Having heard item C3, do I hear a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Belcher.
by order number 2024-21 issued January 11, 2024, the Commission approved a requested amendment from Aiken Transport Express LLC to amend the passenger restrictions on Class C Charter Certificate number 9881 to reflect 15 passengers. On July 24, 2024, the Office of Regulatory Staff filed a report of applicants whose orders are rescinded due to noncompliance, and Aiken Transport Express LLC was listed on the report as having failed to comply with the directives of Order Number 2024-21. By the terms of Order Number 2024-21, failure to comply with the terms of the order within 90 days of the order or within an approved extension of the 90-day period renders the order null and void. Because Aiken Transport Express LLC did not comply with the terms of Order Number 2024-21, the Office of Regulatory Staff could not issue an amended certificate, and the amendment to increase the passenger limits as authorized by Order 2024-21 is now null and void. However, on July 31st, 2024, Aiken Transport Express LLC filed a new request to amend the passenger limit on Class C Certificate number 9881 to increase the passenger limit from 1 to 7 passengers, including the driver, to 8 to 15 passengers, including the driver. I move the Commission grant the request of Aiken Transport Express LLC to amend the passenger limits on Class C Charter Certificate Number 9881 to reflect 15 passengers. Further, it is recommended that Aiken Transport Express LLC contact the Office of Regulatory Staff should the carrier have questions regarding required filings needed to comply with the terms of the order approving this amendment. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Belzer. Having heard the motion by Commissioner Belzer, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Belzer.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, this concludes the business notice before the Commission today.
Thank you very much, Mr. Powers. I hope everyone has a good rest of your week and a fun weekend. Use that time to be a good person, love who you can, help where you can, and give what you can. Good day and good luck. We adjourn.